In this video, we're going to talk about how to create a flat rate program. Click on Profile, go to Manage Programs, and we can actually start with a program that we already have. Let's take the Interchange Plus program that we created last time. So that way we already have our Schedule A costs in there. And we're going to click on Clone. And it's still going to be the XYZ processor, but we're going to call this one True Flat Rate. Again, we're going to allow this one for any merchant of any size. Still 50% split. Click Save. And if we scroll down a little bit here, here's our True Flat Rate program. Let's click on Details. And let's go ahead and make some edits here to this one and make it work. So if we're going to do flat rate pricing, the two biggest changes that we need to make are, first of all, the volume basis points right here. So a basis point is 1/100th of a percent. So 100 basis points is 1%. So let's say that we want this one to be flat rate of 3.25%. Well, that's 325 basis points. Our cost is the same. And let's say that we allow, in this program, we're allowed to go as low as 275 basis points or 2.75%. So now save it. Now, by doing this, we just took, obviously, the revenue on this particular program up considerably. The next big change that we need to make is we need to go down here to our Visa, MasterCard, Discover interchange and change this to 0% interchange. So on true flat rate pricing, we're not charging the merchant any interchange. So we put 0 and 0 here, but we still have our cost. So to calculate our residuals, the processor is still going to take the cost of processing before they pay us any profit, of course, but we're not passing any of the interchange through to the merchant. So click on Save. Now we're also going to go to our per item fee, and if it's true flat rate pricing, we probably don't have any per item fee either, so we're going to zero that out, and we're going to zero out the minimum, but we do still have our 4.5-cent cost before calculating residuals. Now the next thing you'd have to look at is, are you going to make changes to Amex and PIN debit? So is it true flat rate where Amex and PIN debit are included or not, right? Maybe you also have no monthly fee, so let's get rid of that. So there's no monthly fee in there. Now we still have the PIN debit monthly, but again, that's only there if PIN debit is processed. So you could do the same thing for Amex and PIN debit and zero out the debit network access fees and the Amex OptBlue. And then the last thing would be, is it true flat rate where you're also zeroing out the dues and assessments? So you could go through and zero all of these out, and I'm going to go ahead and do that because I put the name as true flat rate. So now you can see that I've zeroed out all of our default amounts here for the dues and assessments, and I've left the cost there because, again, that's still a cost when you're doing residuals, and I put all the minimums down to 0. So we now have a program that's true flat rate pricing. It's going to default to 3.25%, but it can go as low as 2.75. We can see that up here at the top. And then the only thing we didn't do here is we didn't get rid of the Amex and PIN debit. And so we could make that on flat rate as well, but I'm assuming here that we're handling that separate. So we now have this program. Let's go back to our quote and let's create one more quote here to see how this one works. This time I'll choose a full service restaurant, put that they do 20,000 in volume, and let's put that their total fees are, let's say, $643 right now. Click on Create. And if we click on Edit Proposal, because if you remember in the last video, we set the Interchange Plus to be the default. But let's edit the proposal and click on Compare Programs. And now we can look at this true flat rate here, and we can see that with true flat rate, the savings would actually be negative $7, but the residuals would be $153, versus if we go all the way down to the Interchange Plus down here at the bottom, because they're alphabetical, we're going to see savings of $174 a month, but again, the residuals are only $60. Let's go ahead and choose this true flat rate option. And let's take a look at this. Now, we might look and say, well, yeah, but we actually want to use this flat rate option here. But what we want to do is we want to adjust the fees a little bit. So we could go down here and look at our proposed fees, and we can see that 3.25% or 325 basis points, that's giving us a $650 in fees. And you can see there's no other fees. This is true flat rate pricing here. It lists everything else, but it shows the amount to be 0 because there's just none of that there. So let's click on Edit. And let's go up here and just edit this one. And instead of 325, let's edit it to 275, which if you remember, that was our minimum. So let's take it down to 275 and save. And now click back. And now you'll notice that we're actually saving them $93 a month, still have $103 in compensation. This is going to be your monthly residual. So this looks like a pretty good one. Let's click on a shareable link. And now let's go ahead and either email this to the merchant or click on the PDF and share the PDF document with them.